Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are OG subscriber, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you consider subscribing. I would love to see you here every week or every upload whenever I have bonus content. Today, I'm going to give you a story time. This story is going to be really heavy. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to talk about some serious things that will involve drug abuse, addiction, and prostitution. If you are sensitive to those subjects, I would advise you to not watch this video. Also, keep in mind that this story takes place in another country, another culture. So our parents were not aware of many of the things that I'm discussing here because, as you will be able to tell, they were not appropriate for our age group. Here in the US, as you know, the things that I'm going to discuss are illegal in this country, so don't go doing them. This is just a storytelling for entertainment purposes. I will be doing my makeup while I talk to you guys about this, but this is not about the makeup. This is not about a review. This is about this person. I don't even know how I'm going to title this video. I will change the names of the persons involved in the story. It is a tragic story. I want to keep the name of the person involved protected. This story will be about my childhood's best friend. When I grew up in Brazil, most people over there live in gated communities. We used to live in a gated community as well, where most, if not all of the people were owners of their homes. But we moved into this gated community when I was 2 years old. We had one neighbor who was a single middle-aged lady, and she had a bunch of cats. She was a cat lady, and she lived with her mom, and she had a brother. When her brother was alive, I was really small. I was really tiny. I don't remember him very well. He got really sick. One day I saw an ambulance coming over and he was gone. As a child, I didn't think much about it. He had a daughter. This story is about his daughter. I will call her Laura. Her mother will be Rosa. Laura would come over a lot more often because she probably wanted to not only hang out with the kids because there were lots of kids in our little condo, but also because she was near where her dad used to be last. At the time that I met her, I was about 8 or 9 maybe. We would play either downstairs at the public areas, or we would go to each other's homes, spend the day at each other's houses, sort of like people do here in the US. She would have dinner with us and she would hang out with me and my brother and my mom, and as the years gone by, she would come over to her aunt's house, Nita, every weekend. She would basically stay there. As I got to know her mom got to know my mom. As we started growing into teenager years, one time she come over to my house. Her aunt calls her back. Nita calls her back home. Later that night, my stepfather comes back home. My mom calls me in her room and she asked me if I took money out of his jacket. I was like, no, I didn't do none of that. A couple of more times, Laura will come over and things will disappear from the house. I was pretty sure that Laura was taking things from the house. So I started growing a little worried about having Laura come over, and my mom kind of forbade us from bringing strangers because things were disappearing, and I definitely knew it was her. But I never brought it up. I never told her about it. As the years went by, we grew up a little more and we spoke about her dad, and she finally told me that her dad had AIDS from drug use. A McDonald's opened near the house. It was the perfect chance for us to make new friends. We decided to go to the McDonald's and make friends with the other kids in the McDonald's, because apparently in Brazil, you want to have a job, McDonald's is your first choice. And we tried to apply for the McDonald's. We didn't get it. We just started hanging out with the kids from the McDonald's. And at that point, we met a girl who liked to pierce herself. She did her own ear piercings. Punk rock chick. Laura got so bewitched by this girl's lifestyle that the next day, literally, Laura was making some piercings in her ears. She did 2 or 3 more, and then she pierced my ears. She was like, oh, I want to practice on you. She would do it on me. I wanted another piercing anyway, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I was into the whole, let's do all of this crazy stuff. I'm no angel here. I lost a little bit of contact with her for a couple of months, maybe, I don't know, 6 months, because school started. After school came back, I didn't really get to see her for a little while. Why did I do this to my ear? I don't know. When I got to see her again was in the next summer, and she had met a boy. His name was John. He was also like a punk rock kid. He was super in love with her. He would do anything this girl wanted. She already had both of her ears covered in piercings. She would have mohawks. As a 14, 15-year-old, that's natural to have that, you know, rock and roll little spirit inside of you, especially because of our friends were all into the heavy metal culture. We were all wearing black. The boys had long hair. We were into that kind of stuff. She asked John if he would want to have a baby with her, and he said yes. And they went right on to it. She got pregnant right after that. She hid her whole pregnancy, and nobody ever noticed. They just thought that she got fat. They only noticed that she was actually pregnant when she got into labor. Laura's mom was an artist. She made children's songs. She sang in little kids' kindergarten schools. She would go there with her guitar and sing and entertain kids. Her becoming a grandma was not really something that she was expecting or hoping while her daughter was 14 or 15. Shortly after Anna was born, Laura calmed down. Laura wasn't going out or drinking or doing any of the things that she was doing before. She was not piercing herself anymore. She was just a super good mom. Rosa accepted John fully, and he would come over the house and see the baby. Laura did not move in with John. Laura stayed at home with her mom, and Laura went to a school to learn how to actually pierce people professionally. She went away to another state. For the whole year and a half, I didn't see her. I didn't hear from her. She completely disappeared. I crossed paths with her again with the baby, Anna. I spent a whole year in New York, or about 6-7 months. And when I went back, we rekindled. She was a licensed body piercer, and she was about to open a shop. She had Anna with her all the time. She was with John, and they were great. She was living with her mom and taking care of the baby. Finally, she opens the shop. We had friends coming over, the neighborhood people coming over. She didn't have a very legit looking place. There was only like a cabinet with a bunch of piercings inside little, you know, mason jars, piercing table. The waiting area didn't have a chair, couches, or anything like that. A lot of people would come in, look around, and be like, hey, body piercing or whatever, and she would open these mason jars. She did have things to sterilize. She used needles that were completely closed. In Brazil, the body piercing needles, they have a catheter around the needle, so they pierce the body, take the needle out, and the catheter stays, and then you put the piercing through it, and then you take the catheter, which is like a plastic cylinder, out. So every single needle was single packaged. It was pretty legit what she did. It's just that the static of the place she had was not trustworthy by a person who doesn't know her. So people would be very afraid to do their piercings there. So business for her was not the best. And she would be piercing herself. She did her own tongue piercing, sternum piercing, mouth, septum, her nose, eyebrow, continuously, every single day when she opened the parlor, because she didn't have anybody coming in to get pierced. That's what she wants to do. That's what she wants to do. I don't even know what color I'm gonna use right now. Eventually, I started getting pierced too. She pierced my tongue, an industrial on my ear. If you guys don't know what an industrial is, it's just a piercing from here all the way down here. I still have the holes and everything, my navel, and she did most of my ear piercing. So she would get bored and she would pierce me, or she would pierce herself. The majority of people that would get pierced over there would be her friends who didn't really pay that much for the piercings. She decided to close. Once she closed the parlor, that's when things went really south for her. I don't know, her behavior was always erratic. There was one time that we were at a friend's party. They were doing coke, I think. What I know was that she just comes to me and she's like, I just injected myself with chalk. And I looked at her, I was like, why? Why would you do that? And she goes like, I don't know, it's a white. And I'm like, dude, seriously? So sometimes she would do certain things because she thought it was cool, and that was really annoying to me. I'm pretty sure she knew that chalk wouldn't do anything, but she still did it. I did try to help her whenever I was around. I did try to keep her in check and keep tabs on her, obviously. Make sure that she wouldn't drink too much, make sure that she wouldn't use anything that she wasn't supposed to. But I can only do so much. And at that time, also, I was going back and forth from New York. John proposed to her. It was like maybe a year after Anna was born. She actually treated him very poorly. But I felt like the way she behaved in front of people was an act. I always felt like she was just acting. She's putting on a show. He gave her a rose. She grabbed the flower. She smelled the flower, tosses the flower on his face, and says, I want to break up. That's the father of her child. He thought she was joking at first. We always thought that she was always very dramatic, very theatrical. He just kind of like laughed it off. She was like, no, I'm serious. They broke up. He was devastated. Out of nowhere, for no reason. She just decided that she didn't want to be with him anymore. He kind of disappeared. He would come over, try to see the baby. Her mom thought he did something, so now she hated him. Laura started abandoning Anna and going out in benders and disappear to the point that her mom went to child services and took custody of Anna. And at that time, I was in New York. So at this point, Laura is nowhere to be found most of the time. Nobody ever knows where Laura is. When I came back from New York, I'm walking to the condo with my friends. I don't know who I was with at the time. And I see this very slender, olive-skinned guy standing in front of the condo. And next to him is this girl. They both looked really high, really confused, and they were just standing there. I saw it was Laura, really drugged up. Like, she was so lost. Then I looked at her. Laura, is that you? Like, when I saw her, she was really skinny. And she said my name in a question. And right then and there, I knew that she was not all there. Not really herself. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know why she was standing outside of the condo the way that she was, but I assumed by her behavior that she was probably not allowed in. I didn't know what was the situation. I took the stupid decision to just go in and never look back. I came to New York again. I came in 2003 and I saw my family again in 2011 when they came to visit me. And one of the first things I asked my brother was, how was she doing? He haven't heard from her in many, many years, but he told me that she had a baby. Another baby. She had gotten sick. Her second child was also not under her care. I found out who the godmother of the second child was, which was one of our neighbors from childhood. So I contacted her to know how Laura was doing. And that's when I found out that Laura had that baby from working as a lady of the night, and that she was doing things that got her sick, and she got AIDS. And she got pregnant from that work. She did not know who got her pregnant. Her baby, we're gonna call him Carlos. Carlos was born with severe mental delays and that she got sick. She had him and she passed away shortly after. So I never got to see her again. Sometimes I think about it. She lost her child. She lost her career, her job, the father of her child. All she had was drugs. I never understood why she made the decisions that she did. I never understood why she would steal from people, why she would have a baby with somebody who loved her and dump them. Once you are into an addiction, it's hard to get out. I never understood why she went into it. She didn't need to go the path she needed. That's what I'm trying to say. Her decisions in life brought her to the same ending that her dad had. It's tragic. I wanted to talk about this because I found out about her passing 5 years after. I feel like sometimes we may have that friend who is the showman or the showgirl of the group, does things for the clout, for attention, and sometimes you may dig your own grave. Literally. Be careful with your decisions. What are you trying just for fun? The things that you think are temporary decisions, they might become permanent. And that's kind of like what happened to her. She just walked herself right into a situation where she couldn't walk away anymore. She lost her life. I hope the takeaway from this story is have a friend or a family member behaving erratically just because you feel like that they like to. Maybe that's a cry for help. I am sorry, guys. I am giving such a sad story, but I hope that this is helpful for anybody out there who has known somebody who's behaving and displaying the same behavior. What do you guys thought about this story? If you think there's something that I could have done, be easy on me. I was 16. I wasn't that smart back then. Let me know if you guys know somebody who may be displaying the same behavior. If you want more stories like that, I have plenty of life stories that I would like to put out there for you guys. If you are new here, thank you for watching and lasting this long. I hope, again, you consider subscribing. Follow me on Instagram. Like the video if you like the content so I can have a better idea of what you guys like watching from me. And I hope you guys take something away from this story. Make good decisions. Protect each other. Be good friends. Know how to discern clout from scream for help. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. And I will see you guys on the next upload.